Bro, what the fuck? Whoa!
Yeah. Babe. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love a lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle it without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah. We been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, but shorty always get the fussing. Yeah, hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, to the nice end. Yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Saying Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I will never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about it, go to maybe doing, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good, and it's the best side. I remember.
Welcome back to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 3, Episode 63. Is that my voice in the background? It is. And we are back once again with another podcast covering the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. Those are the two biggest things going on. But of course, we have UFC, we have Tycho's questions, we have MLB, and of course, the overall world of sports is what you're here for. 3 out of the 4 boys. The Wanderer may or may not be joining us in a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But we got McDilly, we got Luke, and we got Tycho for sure. So, boys, how we feeling? How we doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Just, I want.
I mean, I'd be a little bit better if it was like 1-1 Florida right now, but you know, like I'm fine. What am I gonna do? Whatever.
Yeah, if only there was a high sticking call that called back a goal that just separated game 1, but you know, didn't happen. Changed
Nope,
the pace,
didn't
man.
happen.
Florida was dog shit in game 2.
And that's where we stand. So let's talk about it. Dive into the Stanley Cup Finals first. Here's what's going on. So Vegas currently up 2-0 in the series. They have received a very enticing offer.
They're going to win it all now.
Vegas Strip Club said that the hockey team can have free lap dances for life. All they have to do is win the Stanley Cup.
Shit.
So what are you going to do if you're a hockey player for the Vegas Golden Knights? You're going to have to win the Stanley Cup. You're going to have to go to the strip club after. That's just what you're going to have to do.
Correct me if I'm wrong before I say this. In hockey, is it like other sports where if you go to the final or win the cup, you get a bonus?
I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't know.
Luke?
I'm not too sure, but I do know that I know Florida got an offer as well about basically not paying rent. In like I forgot what area it was, but
someone's got to win for the people.
I think this is a great question. Do you get a bonus for winning the Stanley Cup? I mean, I would assume What do players get for winning the Stanley Cup? In addition to personnel, the team glory, a player will also get their name on the cup, a special Stanley Cup ring, and a personal day with the Stanley Cup at their place of choosing, and a cash bonus as well. Okay, so
Okay, so there's a cash bonus of some kind.
So they get money along with their day of the cup and everything else. So what I was going to say is, if you have a money that's already enticing, as much as well as the main thing, which is to win the damn cup, that's what you want. You want the championship, you want the glory, you want to hold Lord Stanley. A strip club free lap dance is probably the cherry on top of that offer. So, I mean, if I'm Vegas, I'm already up 2-0, and that offer was made after I was up 1-0. I mean, that just keeps my momentum meter up if I'm Vegas. That's just me.
Let's hope it doesn't. Hope the strip club doesn't drink some. Those big booty hoes. Watch out. We got a couple other things to talk about in this game, and that is Jonathan Marchessault. 9 goals in the last 9 games. Definitely feeling it. And at the same time, his teammate, Jack Eichel, absolutely loving the playoffs. He has the 3rd most points for a playoff debut by anyone ever in the playoffs.
It's 22.
Just had to get out of Buffalo. Let's be honest.
It wasn't loving last game, my gosh.
And he still never lost a playoff series.
Tkachuk absolutely blew this man Eichel up. He did return, but this man was screaming in agony on his skate off play. I don't even know how he managed to skate off, because he toe picked when Tkachuk lined him up and obliterated this man. Probably one of the biggest hits in this year's playoffs.
I think
can we talk
probably
about
the
Eichel's
biggest.
effect? I mean, can we talk about these 22 points in the 3rd? I mean, the hit was good, but you're not talking about the stat, Luke. I mean, he's been one of the biggest reasons why they've been here. I mean, you talk about one of the biggest players finally going to a team that isn't Buffalo, which we were all excited about, and now he's doing his thing in the postseason already, going up on the history charts. I mean, you love to see it.
I mean, you do got to talk about the hit, because I could have taken him out for the rest of the series.
I know, but can you give him some props? Can you give him a little something?
Did I say I was not giving him props?
You didn't.
I was just highlighting the.
Only talk about the hit, and then nothing.
Yeah,
else.
because it was a huge hit. It doesn't matter who it was on. I was going to be bringing it up regardless.
Just don't understand what your beef is with Jack.
I don't have any. I'm just highlighting one of the big.
His performance. You only want to talk about the one time.
Because the biggest hit of playoffs happened to him. If we're talking about Jack, we're talking about the hit as well.
Gone forever.
Ignore the biggest hit of playoffs.
I didn't say we had to ignore it. I thought you were going to talk about the hit, but then say, but also we got to talk about. But no, you don't want to give him anything.
You guys just talked about it.
You're the hockey guy. I thought you would provide more insight.
I was adding on to him.
Not in a good way.
Not everything's good.
It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't need to be good. It's the truth. It's what happened. And does he have 22 points in the playoffs? Yes. Did he get absolutely obliterated in game 2? Yes.
Well, okay, which is
both can be true.
Honestly, both.
I don't know if one's more important than the other. Right now, they're both equally relevant.
Is he playing the next game?
Yeah.
Then the points are more important.
I haven't checked the starting lineup, so let's.
If he's still playing and he's not out,
fuck his life up in the first period.
If he's out,
yes.
I don't know. That hit's still pretty huge.
It's still the biggest hit of the playoffs so far, in my opinion.
But you can't keep him down. You can't take him out.
You took him out for a
How
little
do you
bit.
know? This is the first time they tried. Maybe they're going to do it next game, too.
What if he scores next game?
How do you know? For sure. That's not fucking with his mind a little bit. So next time he's cutting up the ice, he's thinking twice.
Because he's a hockey player.
Maybe makes a mistake.
He has the body of a dog.
Yeah, but remember Xavier Laflamme from Goon?
Boom.
It's in your mental, man.
Fuck you. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what hockey players do?
Yep.
Do you know what they do? They learn. I tried to skate up the middle and I got absolutely obliterated out of my mind. Maybe I shouldn't do that as much.
But you have a point.
He's going to be a little less careless the next time he's doing it. Maybe it causes a mistake, a turnover. Maybe it keeps him more to the outside and not cutting up to the middle as much.
Maybe.
Or maybe he gets obliterated again.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. Or maybe you just keep hitting this motherfucker till he doesn't get back up.
All I'm saying is, damn near every single series this year for Florida, they have absolutely obliterated one dude on the opposing team.
It is a smart way to go about it. I mean, especially if it's going to be a factor on the other team. The easiest way to take him out is catch him with his head down.
Bennett. Now it's to Chuck.
Has Florida? What have they been doing so far in the Cup? I've only seen everything Vegas. I haven't seen anything Florida-wise. Did they fall asleep?
What have they been doing?
They've been what the hell happened the first two games?
It was a close first. Game one was a close game. Vegas was more on the dominating side, but it was still close. Then there was a call to keep a fourth goal on the ice after Mark Stone high-sticked it out of the air and then shot it into the net, which made it a 2-goal game in the third period, which changed the entire tide of the game, made it a 2-shot game instead of a 1-shot game. One shot could have easily tied it up. Florida lost all their momentum. I thought that I did not agree with that call at all. Then game two, they just left Bobrovsky out to dry, and they pulled him, put in Leon. I don't doubt that Bobrovsky is going to be back in the net starting game 3. He definitely will be. But Florida has to stop leaving him out to dry so much. We need that defense that was there the past 3 series, and it was not there in game 2.
No, definitely not when you're letting up 7 goals. There's no kind of defense.
I saw that save.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be a couple empty net goals, but there was not a single one.
I saw that save.
Didn't need it.
Game 1 by Aiden Hill. I think that was probably one of the best saves I've seen all these playoffs with his paddle. That was pretty fucking insane.
Yeah, all Buddy Pal had to do was lift the goddamn puck 2 inches and it was going in.
Those always make me so mad because they always happen at least once a year or at least once in the playoffs. And it will always be the same scenario going through your head where you're just like, just lift the fucking puck because it's always just rolling on the ice. All the goalie can do is
they keep relating it to the Holtby save.
What's going to happen when the one time the guy lifts the puck and then you're screaming at him because he flipped it over the net instead of just trying to push it in? And you're like, all you had to do was push it in.
This is what I'm trying to get at. Because Braden Holtby in the Stanley Cup final when the Caps won it had the same exact save, except it was midair. But the way Hill was falling, his stick was on the ice and was pressing down. He wouldn't have been able to get it up like how Holtby's was in midair. All I had to do was just kind of chip it in a tiny bit. Just a little tiny taparoo, little boom, chip it in, and then you had a goal. And that game would have been a lot more different. But then you let him get that save, and then went all downhill from there.
I agree. And Tyler, going back to your point, if that's what they're worried about, then they need to chill out at the fucking gym. Because if you're telling me that a little tap you're worried about it going over the net, chill out on that wrist game, buddy. Because there's no way that it should be going over the net if you're as close as you are and you need
high pressure situation, Stanley Cup Finals. I think there's a chance you put it over the net.
And plus, this is also the NHL. There's been a decent amount of one-handed shot goals.
Yeah, and half the guys do cocaine. We just don't know about it.
No, we do, but we don't officially know about it.
We don't know about all of them. We know about a couple. Oh, and by the way, they're still in the league. Anyways,
why would it be?
That is the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's go over to the NBA playoffs. This one, 1-1 still. So we're still close here. But let's start with the Miami Heat. So the Miami Heat have won 7 games in this playoffs when trailing by 10 or more points. And that ties the Golden State Warriors in, I believe, 2016. And then it also ties the Miami Heat in 2000, 2001.
No, 2012, 2011.
11 and 12. I knew it was something like that. So 11 and 12 Heat and the Golden State Warriors, only other teams that have been able to do this. And so far, so good for the Miami Heat because right now it's 1-1 in the series. They are tied Miami took game 2, but Denver took game 1. Ultimately, what it's coming down to, the Heat are a fourth quarter team.
That's all they've
Straight up.
been. That's all we've been talking about, man.
And that's all that matters, because they were able to clamp down on the Nuggets in the fourth quarter of game 2. And Dylan, what are the numbers on that point differential?
-1 in the first quarter, -11 in the second quarter, -12 in the third quarter. So all 3 quarters.
So losing in
getting
point
worse.
categories in
And then-
every single quarter, except for the fourth quarter, which is plus 90. That's how they win the games, period.
Yeah, and they
There's
go
no
crazy.
other, you don't need to show
quarter.
anybody any other stat.
Yeah, it's really the biggest thing. And the biggest thing that I've been noticing this first 2 games is Jimmy has not been as effective as he has been, which I think is a good thing, because I think that in the next couple games, Jimmy's going to start dropping 30, 40 bombs. But at the same time, MPJ, Jamal Murray, and Jokic have been playing really good defense. Now, I know that he put 21 points up along with Bam and Gabe Vincent. And honestly, Gabe Vincent and Cody Martin have been minus game 1, where they shot 1 for 19, and that was atrocious. Game 2, they finally woke up, and they were coming to the players they needed to be. Also, Duncan Robinson, every other game, he's like AD. He's going to decide he wants to shoot one game, and the next game he's not. So those core players are going to be great. My thing is, we talk about Denver, because I got to talk about how Denver is hard to stop. Also, Nikola Jokic being just an absolute monster. Now, first off, Nikola Jokic broke a record for 14 assists in his NBA Finals debut, which is the most assists ever in a Finals debut. But also, my thing is that when they play double, they double him, and then you can't do that because he's immediately going to turn into an assist machine. They play zone. Okay, well, I don't know if you know this, but Joker annihilates zone defense. Zone defense, he will pass the ball around and make your life a living hell. So then you go to the point where you play man-on-man. They don't have a man big enough that can guard Jokic, and Bam is not the man that has been doing it game 1 or game 2. So the biggest thing is if you can't lock him up, you still have Jamal Murray, who's over here, and in my opinion, has been the Finals MVP so far, right next to Jokic. Like, you could give it 1 or 2 right now. So that 1-2 is the hardest thing to stop. And I'm not even talking about Aaron Gordon. I'm not even talking about MPJ, because those two, that 4 isn't even a factor right now when you have Jokic and Murray playing the basketball that they're at. If they're playing like Kobe and Shaq in the finals right now, well, there's not a whole lot you can really do, except if you're the Heat, rely on your fourth quarter the best. When you're playing against Denver, and like we saw, clear example, game 1, when you go down by 10 points, then 25 points, then 30 points, that fourth quarter hits, you're in too deep of a hole. So their biggest thing is they're not going to be able to rely on just their fourth quarter against a team like Denver with Jamal and Jokic. Sorry for taking
not if they're going down by 30 points, but I mean, we knew this was going to be a problem in game 1 when Cody Zeller was under the basket trying to guard Jokic, and Jokic just sat him on the floor and just laid it in like it was no problem. So I mean, right there, you knew it was going to be an issue.
That's their size. That's their size that they have to compete with. Cody Zeller.
It's Denver's series to lose, in all honesty.
It is,
but
at the same time, I feel like because of how many times he's been here on his own, it's Jimmy's to lose. Jimmy is in his mind right now,
Jimmy is not favored to win, so it's not his to lose. Like,
okay, I understand.
Denver has the better players. Like, at home, they have a bigger advantage, I feel like. Like, I feel like it's Denver's to lose because of the power that's on Denver's team. Not just because Jimmy's been there and he brought 3 or 4 undrafted motherfuckers to the finals this year. Yeah. Like, I mean, all praise and all respect to Jimmy, but it's not his to lose. In all honesty, it's his to gain.
No, that's what I meant.
Because he's already gained, making it this far with the ragtag team that he had right now. Like, I know they have some good players, but it's nothing compared to all the teams they beat and the team they're currently playing.
Well, it's nothing compared to the teams they beat, but at the same time, the teams they beat,
like their roster, like on paper.
Well, I know, but look, what I'm saying is that no matter how you were going to break it, anybody coming out of that conference was not going to be able to stack up against whoever it was from this conference. You would have been able to make that argument either way when you just look at the East and the West. I'm sorry. That's just how it was going to shake down. But the thing is that Jokic right now and the NBA won't market this because for some reason
Okay,
they
but
don't
wait,
like
time out.
it.
Time out.
No,
time
no,
out.
no,
All
no,
right.
not
No, because I thought of something about your theory. You said no one in the East would stack up against whoever they're playing in the West.
Yes, when we were going into playoffs.
So you're
correct.
so like if everyone's healthy and everyone's playing on their game, you as much as I hate them, you can't tell me that Philadelphia wouldn't put up a fight against Denver.
Philadelphia, everybody
That's the
on their
only team I can think of.
Because, bro, that series should not have even gone 7 with Boston. Boston should have put them away in 5.
But they didn't. I'm just saying, like, if anyone
No.
can guard Jokic, it would be Embiid. Am I wrong?
I'm saying if Philly got to the finals this year with miraculously with how they played, they would lose in 4 to Denver. They get smacked.
So you took out the beginning part of what I said, which is everyone's on their game, everyone's healthy.
But you can't say that going into this year. Because my thing was this year, into this year's playoffs.
I've made something up. It's literally, it didn't happen. It's make believe.
So you're saying new theory. Everyone's healthy. This is a new season. I got you. Okay.
Like if
I don't think
like,
they'd win in 4.
Just on paper.
Because right now,
paper.
nobody.
I'm not saying that like. I'm not saying you don't have to take Denver. I'm just saying, would it not be pretty fucking close?
It would be closer than this series, yes.
Like, if anyone, in my opinion, is going to be able to stack up against Jokic, it would be Embiid. And then the rest need to, like, Maxey and Harden versus MPJ.
But the problem is
Murray.
when they join the playoffs, I get fully healthy.
As much as I hate Philadelphia, much as I hate them.
When they join the playoffs this year, they lose in 5. Because Harden.
Well, that's just kind of what Philly does no matter what.
I was going to say, Harden and Maxey and Embiid healthy, they kind of played like shit. So.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean? I can't really trust it.
That's why it has to be a theory.
Denver.
That's why I can't say,
I would say,
normal fucking Philadelphia team.
but what's sad is that I agree with your theory saying that it would be closer. But at the same time, there's still
But at the same time, it's 1-1. So.
Hey, Miami can still win this
series.
I'm not saying they can't. Don't get me.
They've won all these other fucking series that they weren't supposed to win.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But at the same time,
I'm going for Denver, but
come on. Agree. If you would look at talent-wise, I mean, like I was saying before you came up with that theory, the NBA doesn't want to push it for some reason, but Nikola Jokic right now is the best player in basketball. It's just what it is.
Yeah. He's just ugly as shit, so no one really.
He's ugly as shit. And he's a fucking fat farmer, and the NBA doesn't like it. And it's
they're like, really, man? Like, you can't give us nothing. He's like, I play basketball.
They're pushing Luka.
I'm giving you that.
From LeBron. They said, what about Jokic? Well, we gave him an MVP. How much more do we have to give him?
I think he's good now. I think we're fine.
I think we did our part, but we have some other basketball news.
Indeed, we do.
Not in finals world, but I'm still mad.
I'm calling bullshit on this too. By the way, I'm bringing Luke back in because Luke can comment on this. It has nothing to do with playing basketball at all. But Ja Morant's camp coming out after the possible half-year suspension is weighing down from Adam Silver. We still don't have any regard.
Games is what we are at.
They are now claiming that Ja Morant's gun that was flashed in the Instagram live video was fake. All I'm saying is that's got to be bullshit because, bro, you already got caught doing this once. You think we're just going to think that you're riding around with a fucking Nerf gun now that's all painted black? Like, what? What are we supposed to think?
They didn't say it was a airsoft gun. They didn't say it was a Nerf. They said it was a toy gun.
What does that even mean? Was it literally all plastic? Doesn't even work? Like, show us the plastic gun.
When you saw the photo of it being held up,
all right,
it was a black pistol.
Time out. If you're Ja Morant, if that's a fake pistol and that video comes out, are you not immediately taking a video of yourself or taking a picture of this fucking fake gun and a video of yourself smacking it on the table like it's plastic? It's not a good gun. It doesn't work. All this and that.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I would. That's the first thing I would do is y'all are tripping. This is fake.
No, you know what he did?
No, he didn't do that because it's real.
put out an apology and said he's going to try to do better. Actually,
I don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure he copy and pasted.
It seems like it's way too late to say it was fake.
This is like
that would have been one of the first things they said.
This is like when Jameson Williams was like he said that he didn't know anything about the gambling rule in the NFL.
And honestly, bro,
right? Like you heard the rule how many times?
That's on his agent, bro.
Or the guy that fucking probably said that is going to say the same thing. The guy for the Colts that just got caught.
That's on his agent.
Apparently, he placed like hundreds of wagers, and even some on the Colts. So,
because he said it was in the back of the handbook. I never saw it, and they said, "Did your agent see it?" And he didn't respond. Well, it's probably because his agent probably did see it. That's my thing. Like, first off, I'm not blaming the players. I'm blaming the players first. But then if they're going to try to make excuses and throw it on something else, saying it was in the back of the handbook, I didn't see it. Well, then your agent, who fucking probably did, and if not, should have read the handbook, should know that. So,
but handbook my ass. Like, I've heard that they have like seminars where like they tell the guys at the beginning of the year, like, all right, here's what you can do, here's what you can't do. But I mean, if you're tuning out, if you're on your phone, like you don't pay attention, you might miss it. But like, it should be common knowledge. Have you all ever heard of Pete Rose? Like, you can't.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't bet on the sport, dog. Like, stop.
And I know at seminars, I know for sure they're talking about, hey, don't flash fucking guns. I don't care if they're toys or not on your Instagram.
I'm sure they don't have to.
Seminar?
You know what? I'm sure that seminar doesn't happen because you're just not supposed to do that. It's just something that people don't do. That's something that your agent has to, like, you do that once, which he did. Your agent has to tell you, look, we cannot do that, period. Like, ever again, hands down. And then he fucking does it a second time. Like,
you got to remember.
Who's going to keep these guys in check? They can't keep themselves in check half the time.
I seen a funny video. It was when it was like John Moran's friends when they see him go live on Instagram, and it cuts to a clip from the third John Wick movie, and it goes, "Somebody please get this man a gun."
That's exactly what happens, though.
I think his boys just tried to fall on the sword for him. I think that weeks have passed. They finally asked his camp, hey, what happened with the incident? And they said, nah, it was a toy gun, man. You know, Ja, he's not about that no more. That's not what he does. No, we know what happens when NBA YoungBoy comes out around John Moran. He gets feelings that he can't control, and guns pop out. It happens, okay? We've seen it twice. And I think that his boys were just trying to defend his name and saying that, you know, whatever they could, but at the same time, when the guy who did the crime is over here talking about on Twitter,
right, when he admitted to it, like, already 3 weeks ago, like, it's
sorry
over.
For all
it's over
the damage he's caused, and he's gonna try to change himself. It's hard to say it was fake.
It's already over. After he apologizes, it's already over. Like, we already know it's real at that point. You can't come out now and say you changed your mind.
They're going to slap a 30-game suspension on him, and it's going to be it. That's what's probably going to happen.
Whatever. I don't care. That's Jesse's problem. He's fine in the West.
He's starting
Anyways,
to piss me off. Tell you what.
We got one more.
Hell yeah, we do. And this is honestly the only thing I'm mad I didn't have Jesse here for, because it's going to be a great question for him. But if he wants to fucking do his own shit.
Tell you what, no. Here's the thing.
He can do it.
I think you're the only one that can take this question now. I have no idea why he'd want to go back to the Rockets. I thought he hated it there.
You got to understand, Tyler. This man wants to be back ever since the second half of the year, and I don't know why. Because here's the thing about James.
Well, how do we know that?
Here's the thing about in the media, in press conference. He's told his agent, and his agent has come out and said it multiple times that he was so much happier where he was in Houston. He just didn't realize it because he wasn't happy in the organization. Do you want me to not sugarcoat this shit for you, Tyler? This is why he wants to go back to Houston. He's the fucking man in Houston. He gets everything he wants. He has all the strip clubs. He owns, not real estate, but like property shit in Houston. His family lives in Houston. All the signs of him pointing are just, he likes it better in Houston. And then he tried to justify it by saying he sees the young core coming up and they don't have any vet prowess there. and he could be that prowess. Well, what I think he really means is Jalen Green is exciting, and they are going to get somebody else good in the draft. And there's one more player I cannot think of that is on that team that's really good. And he just wants to come over there and ball out and know that if he's doing that, that's hard in saying, I'm cool with not getting a ring. I'm going to take a fat contract from Houston, and I'm going to live my best life. And in 2 months, when he's fat again, don't be surprised. But that's the biggest thing is it's really, in my opinion, the city over the team. Like he loves Houston and all that comes with it and all that he had with it because he was there for so many years, and everyone thought he wasn't leaving.
I mean, I just think he'll be a little disappointed when he gets back.
No.
He'll be a little disappointed in the welcoming. I don't think it's going to be as welcome as it used to be.
Hey,
he's not the same guy.
If you ask me, what would I do? Stay or leave? I'm staying because one team has Joel Embiid and the other team doesn't. So,
and honestly, at this point, though, it depends on how much he really feels like giving a fuck. Because on one team, you got to try really hard. On the other team, the expectations are a little lower.
Hey, here's what I just realized. Think about it. All that we said last year about he was taking pay cuts for the boys in Philly, realizing that he wasn't as much of a superstar and he was looking at himself more of a role player, more of an assist guy, right? He has a chance to say, fuck all of that. Go back to Houston, swamp up a shit ton of money, and play mediocre ball. He has a chance to take all of that and stick it down the drain and say, fuck that, and just take a bunch of money, take the next 3-4 years, and we'll probably never see him again. Because if he stays in Philly, he's obviously going to be making a lot less money.
Clearly. I mean, they know who they're paying, and I know James Harden's not going to be one of them.
And they're going to want to leave money for Embiid when they need it. So my thing is, you
know what? Fuck it. Go. I guess it makes enough sense at this point. Dylan's talked me into it.
The narrative.
Go back to Houston. Whatever.
You thought I was a good guy? Oh, fuck that. I want money.
He'll average like 22.
I got rappers. Me and Lil Baby are going to go to the club. And I don't give a fuck if we win 20 games this year. All right. Now we can kick it into baseball.
No, we can't.
We got one more thing. Oh, sorry. Actually, I want to know how Luke feels about this, Luke. The Suns officially waived Chris Paul today. He is no longer a Phoenix Suns. He officially off the roster. How do you feel about it?
Well, me and Bookie talked about it, and they're going to be hiring him as a head coach, and then they're going to go on to win the finals, and then that's how Chris Paul's going to get his first ring. He'll be on the bench.
I hate you.
Also, that's all. That'll be completed within 10 days.
Yep, in 10 days.
All right, here's all I'm saying.
You heard it here first.
Head coach, then I will back a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. But he's got to be head coach in the next 10 days.
No, they're getting the ring.
Check back in 10 days.
With him as head coach.
Oh, that's when the ring comes. 10 days. Don't sleep.
As soon as they're going to sign him as a head coach tomorrow, and then they're going to instantly – then the two teams in the finals right now are going to flip a coin. Some teams got to get kicked out. Got to get replaced with the Suns.
And everybody gets a ring.
Sorry, Adam Silver's like, look, this is just how this shit goes, guys.
Well, rules. Sorry, motherfuckers. We're changing it up. And we're going to change it up, too. We'll go into baseball. We'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? Tycho here, taking a quick break in the action to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. You can go on there and check out all your favorite sports, finance, food and travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts. They've got it all on there, as well as content from all of your favorite colleges, with more on the way and more added every day. So make sure you check that out, as well as the merchandise tab. Be sure to get all of your six-pack coverage gear at the merch tab there with the hats, flags, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check it out today, sixpackcoverage.com.
All right, so we're going to move into MLB news, and I have a short story for you. So I was originally going to talk about how the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers are atop the NL West for the two best records in the National League. But since then, the D-backs have passed the Dodgers, and right now, not only are the Diamondbacks first in the National League West, but get this, Luke, hold your cock because this is about to get real. The Diamondbacks have the best record in the National League. Just let that sink in.
Yeah, baby. You know, they're way more than surpassing my goals. I mean, gotta love the rookie Corbin fucking Barrel. I don't
Rookie
call
of
him
the year, for
Carroll
real.
anymore. He's Corbin Barrel because he's got a fucking barrel.
I agree. And all the boys are
Hey, I don't think we're talking about the bat anymore, boys. Luke said he's got a barrel. He ain't talking about the bat. I'm convinced.
these D-backs, man. I
He's
mean,
talking schlong.
I have never seen in my lifetime the Diamondbacks first place in the National League. So
I've never seen the Diamondbacks
this is fun
good.
for me, but I'm
And
happy
everyone
for
on the
Luke.
podcast called me crazy and laughed in my face when I said they're going to take a wild card spot. Look at them now.
We backed you on the wild card. We thought it was funny, but we backed you. This, I'm just going to give it to you. I'm so happy for you because I did not in my wildest dreams see this happening. Toronto and Baltimore, you know, they were could have went first in the division, so that would have been more expected. But this, it's like Miami, okay?
And they're on the actual side of the league that's very competitive, unlike the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's actually impressive.
This is more impressive. I mean, the Dodgers is who you just passed. The pain in our asses in the National League every year that are just really fucking good. I mean,
hey man, if we
You're
gotta
doing
sacrifice the Suns
Well,
for
like,
a
the thing
D-backs
is-
ring,
Hey,
I would love
that'd be better.
I don't care who I have to kill. I'm killing him to do it. I swear to God, bro. Please, can we make this happen? The Suns don't ever need a ring and just get the D-backs one this year. I'm cool with it.
Dylan's talking about killing people for it too. Well, I didn't know it was like that.
I'm cool. I would be so happy with that. As a baseball fan, to get the Diamondbacks to win it this year would be a Cinderella story, and I'm here for it.
you ready for the
I bet.
walk-off win for the fourth win in the World Series from Corbin Barrel?
And we're not talking bats. All right. Next up, the White Sox and the
walk-off.
Tigers. Yeah, let's talk about it, huh? Okay.
You know who's gonna hit that walk-off? It's gonna be Seth Beer. Sorry.
Long story short, only the Tigers could possibly lose a game like this. How the Tigers lose a game? Well,
well off the line at first, and Tim takes the ball away. It slightly gets away. No, find it, and the mystery ball is a Sox win.
Corey Blazer is down because it got him.
Well, let's see. The Sox win for now. 2-1 the final. And that should be that, right? Yeah, that's it.
That's the end of the ball game.
I just didn't see a signal because the umpire was down. The Sox will take it. It's 2-1. Enjoy your weekend.
That, unlike the
Yeah, you know what makes it worse is that if you were watching the game live, you would have saw that was the third wild pitch of the inning.
I blame the catcher for two reasons. One, catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
that's your only job.
Two, awful wild pitch. You know you didn't catch it. The game is on the line.
The bases are loaded.
And you're checking on the umpire to see if he's okay instead of running at the ball to throw it to your pitcher at the home plate. No, the pitcher is steaming towards home plate thinking you're about to go, realizing you're not going. Now he has to change course, go to the ball, and watch the dude fucking tag home plate. And you're still looking at the fucking goddamn ump. Yes, care about ump's health, but after you make the play to save the fucking game.
Exactly.
ABA.
Then you can go rub the ump.
The home
you can
umpire
go rub him up in the locker room afterwards.
The home
but
umpire
don't do it.
See what happened? Oh, well, look at that. We got some replay to see that tag for the out instead of the fucking tag for the walk-off.
I mean, it's plain and simple.
ABH.
It's only the Tigers
anybody
would
but
do
Haas.
something like that.
All right, it's very simple. That man, we got excited for him because he was a Michigan man. He hits 200. He hits one home run every 20 games, okay? And he can't catch. Anybody but Haas. Take Dylan Dingler, who's hitting bombs in AAA for 3 years now, and let's get him the fuck on up here. And while we're at it, can we take Baez? and send him
Oh, yeah.
where
Yeah.
Toronto sent him?
For anyone
to
else
fucking
that
Single
didn't
the
see it,
complex in Florida, where he can learn to retie his fucking shoes and count to twos. That's what we can do. 'Cause he sucks.
for anyone that has no idea why Dylan is going off, it's because Javier Baez swung at another pitch that was about 4 feet away from the strike zone.
No, it's
And
I'm pretty sure
He
it
was
was
he was
4
he was
feet.
trending on Twitter again.
I'm pretty sure it was 4 feet off the strike zone as soon as it got released out of the pitcher's hand, and then it ended up like 20 feet away from the strike zone.
Bro, did you see that? Did any of you see that at bat? Or did you guys?
For you to think that I watched a Tigers game. Is
No, I'm
wild.
just saying. Like, was it on Twitter?
The strikeout was not the whole at bat, just the
Okay.
last pitch.
Hey, fastball down the middle. Fastball down the middle. Swings at that. He watched 2 meatballs down the fucking middle and then did that.
Yeah, because he's bad at baseball, and he predetermined that after those first 2 pitches that he was going to swing on the next pitch no matter what, and that was the pitch that they got.
I'm going to make a game out of it if I'm in the mound. I'm just going to see how far outside I can throw the ball to where he swings because he thinks he has a fucking boat oar instead of a baseball
But I'm
bat.
throwing the first one right down the middle, hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah. If
Turn-
I ever get hot,
And the next 2 are going to be so outside, it's going to be ridiculous.
If
Could turn his at bats into a drinking game. Anytime he swings at a pitch outside the zone, take a shot. You're gonna be blacked out before the game's
Take
over.
a shot every
That's
time he
too
swings on the
dangerous,
outside
Luke.
pitch,
You're going to kill
and then every
somebody.
time he strikes out, you got to finish your drink.
You're gonna kill somebody is what you're gonna do. If they have a double header, they're not going home.
But speaking of bad baseball, I know we already showed it, but you know how that whole state finals game that ended in the, I don't know, I think it was high school.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I ended up watching
Yes,
because there's this
yes,
guy
yes.
John Boy Media. I like to watch his baseball
He
videos.
is the best at breaking down all of baseball.
He is, and he covered that, and then from him covering it, I got to see the whole inning. Let's just say that pitcher had it up with 2 outs, had a short pop fly that he dropped after he caught it in his mitt. The game could have been over before all that shit happened.
You're telling me they botched it before they botched it?
Yes.
Correct.
They double botched it, but we only saw the big botch?
Yeah, the pitcher dropped an infield fly out.
Correct.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but
He had it in his
media
glove,
doesn't want
hit
you
the
to see
ground,
that 'cause
and
they
it
need to
bounced
play the
out.
victim.
Ooh.
I will
That's
send
pain.
you the video, Ty. I will send you that
Send me
video.
that video. Yeah, that's pure pain.
It is
Fuck
so
it, man.
bad.
They double
I'll drop the link to that video under this video on our Twitter. So if anyone else wants to see that, it'll be there.
Perfect.
Jesse,
All right.
thank you for joining us.
Oh, hey, Jesse.
To catch you up real quick, we are on baseball, but the Diamondbacks are now first in the National League, and the Detroit Tigers lost on a walk-off after the ump got hit in the face. That's what we're talking about.
All right, now can we talk about these Mariners, please?
We can, because they have a problem, and it's a
All
big
right,
problem.
so the Mariners were going into this year as a team that I picked to win the World Series. Let's point blank it. I'm pretty sure it
Not
wasn't
anymore.
alone.
That's
Who
what's
else?
happening.
Who else joined me? Was it Jesse or Tyler?
I joined you, but that's not
You
happening
joined me.
anymore.
Okay. Well, because
Nope.
what I was gonna say is they're currently sitting
I
at
has jumped ship.
fourth place in the AL West, and you might be going, okay, well, you know, the Rangers, they're playing great baseball at 40-20, and the Astros, they're gonna Astro. But the Angels are 32-30, and the Athletics will never, ever, ever be a factor in that division, so don't even look at them.
Don't
But the
sleep.
Mariners are sitting at
Only
fourth
28
place.
and a half games back. Don't
Yep,
sleep.
just 14-50, holding on. But the Mariners are sitting at 30-31, and they're 10.5 games back. So you got to go, okay, what's their biggest problem? Well, it's very simple. The Mariners strike out, and they strike out a lot. Not only are they leading the major leagues, not just the AL, but the major leagues in strikeouts by more than 40 strikeouts. But when you look at their best players, their key players, Jared Kelenic, 70 strikeouts, Julio Rodriguez, 70 strikeouts, Eugenio Suarez, 71 strikeouts, and Teoscar Hernandez, 80 strikeouts. They have 4 out of the 5 most strikeouts so far this season, and Eugenio Suarez, Teoscar Hernandez, and Julio Rodriguez are their 3 highest paid hitters in that lineup. So, a big old G's is what I have to say. Tyler, Jesse, whoever wants to comment, what are your thoughts?
You know, not looking pretty for them boys the way they're striking out. Like, it's different when you're making contact and you're just landing in the wrong spots. When you're completely just missing the ball and striking out, 70, man, it's a lot. It's more than a strikeout a game.
And think about it when you have Teoscar Hernandez, who has 80 strikeouts so far.
That's
He's averaging right now, I think it was 2.5 strikeouts per game, which if I'm a fan of that team, God, am I just angry to just see him come up to bat. I swear to God.
he did so much better in Toronto.
No, and I was pissed but happy that we were getting rid of him, but to a team where I thought he could still be a big factor. Now I'm just pissed.
Oh no, he's being a big factor, just not in the right way.
No, he would, because here's the thing. He would strike out in Toronto, but then he would hit a 3-run blast in his next at-bat. What he's going to do in Seattle, he's going to strike out, and then the 2 times he doesn't, he's going to walk and ground out. And that's going to do fucking nothing for you. So that's his problem. But my biggest thing is that I think he just played better in the Dome. I think his home numbers were always a lot better than his away numbers. He hasn't went back to Toronto yet. Hey, I'm just saying.
Might be the Dome.
Might be the Dome. All right. This next person that we're going to talk about, I'm just going to make player of the week because we haven't made a player of the week yet, and his batting average is 400. And I'm talking about Luis Ariz. I'm talking about Luis Ariz of the Mariners. It's 401. It went back down to 399. Then it went back up to 401 again because this man, every single game, he gets on. We talked about his on-base streak, which just ended around 30 games. But his average is still over 401. His OBP is insane. All of his numbers are just – he did this last year when he won Silver Slugger from Minnesota. But he's coming over here and almost doing better in a harder ballpark to hit in Miami, which is really impressive.
Fix that contact. Now he's aiming to get there. I think he used to want to hit with a little bit more power, attempt to. Now he's really just looking for contact every time.
And honestly, that's the best way to play in that ballpark because you're not going to get any carry and you're not going to get any help getting it out of the yard, trying to go yard. That's why I always thought it was so impressive when Giancarlo Stanton hit 53 homers that season that he did for Miami. I always look at that as like when, okay, let me break it like this. Aaron Judge, he just broke that record, right? Last season. Okay. I look at that and I go, that's really impressive, but you did it at Yankee Stadium. I look at Giancarlo Stanton almost hitting 60 homers that 2015 season at Miami Park. That's just so much more impressive. It's so hard to hit for power there. So I think, like you said, the smartest thing you could do if you're a contact bat is stick to your contact and make that your key focus. And he's been the best contact hitter in the American League last year and now in all of baseball this year. Big ups.
Consistency.
All right, another guy we got to talk about, and honestly, I hate talking about Philly, but, we have to do what we have to do on this podcast.
Schwarber does love June.
Schwarber loves June. He's always loved June. I believe June last year was when this man hit fucking 9 homers in the span of like 6 games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last year before that, he had like 15 in June.
So, once again, Kyle Schwarber has homered 3 times in the last 6 games in the month of June, and we are in June 7th. So my question to you is
under over
in the next June has 30 days.
All right, Kyle Schwarber over under 14.5 home runs.
I was going to say
June.
15. I was going to say 15. So
14.5 is the number. Over under.
So then over because I have 15.
Jesse,
under. He hits.
I'm going under. He's getting 13.
All right. Well, currently he's at 6.
Wow, we said 11, 13, and 15.
We didn't even plan that. We're just that good. All right, we're going to skip over this Marcus Semien 25-game hitting streak. Good for Semien, but talked about the Diamondbacks sitting alone, the NL West. Jesse, I'm just going to ask you real quick. Do you have anything you want to say about the Diamondbacks currently not only being first in the NL West, but they're currently first in the National League?
I'll watch them lose to the Tigers on Saturday.
Now, I talked to Luke about this, and I think you'll be on board with this. Luke said he will give up a Suns ring, like for good, to get a Diamondbacks ring this year. I said I'm on board with it.
I can't wait to be at that game Saturday, cheering my dick off in my Diamondbacks jersey.
I'm all for it. Would you be for that?
For the fact that
Because you know how obnoxious he is with Phoenix, so I'm all for it. Or I mean the Suns.
Yeah. But man, that'd be crazy. Diamondbacks winning.
I would love to see it for baseball.
I'd love to
no
see
one would
that.
be ready for it.
But I don't want to see the Suns win, and I don't think I ever will.
See, so you're 42, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're all on that boat. The Suns not winning at all for the D-backs, and that's perfectly fine. All right, here we go. College baseball, bada bing, bada boom. It's in full swing, and I am so excited to talk about it. First things first, I completely forgot that the pitch clock was a factor in the College World Series. And this might piss me off more than MLB because we haven't been in a postseason environment with the pitch clock and with the violations and all this and that, but we had our first little glimpse of a big moment being ruined by a violation. And we were sitting in the bottom of the fourth inning in a elimination game, and Penn had bases loaded, 2 outs, full count, tie game, where dreams are made of, and he gets a pitch clock violation. Yeah, he took too long in the box, strike 3, there he goes. And I immediately just screamed fuck at the top of my lungs because it put it in perspective for me. Oh shit, they have that same violation too. I thought it changed for the World Series, but nope, it's the same as it was. And now I'm just immediately upset again because there's a lot of great moments and great games that are going to be ruined by this damn violation. And the fact that I had to watch a full count bases loaded tie game moment end in a violation really pissed me off. So I just wanted your thoughts. These kids are 18, 19. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah. It's what's the word I'm looking for?
Bullshit.
No. That
Not
wasn't
fair.
what I was looking for. It just seems real
Fucked up.
yeah. It's like a teeter-totter, but like the guy on the other side's like 300 pounds and you're like 75 and you're like, how am I supposed to get down?
Yeah, and then the guy jumps on the teeter-totter and you just start flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that feels.
That's the perfect way to put it. All right. I'm going to talk about a team that's currently on a Cinderella run. Now, Tulane fans, I'm sorry it's over. That streak that happened, that we talked about last week, they're done. It's over. But there's
That's so
a
funny.
new
You sent it to
Cinderella
me.
team on the block, and if you're familiar with March Madness, this is not their first time trying to make a Cinderella run. I'm talking about the one and only Oral Roberts. They won 21 straight games to not only win the regional, but sweep the Stillwater Regional and advance to the Super Regionals. And Oral Roberts, the Eagles, are officially in Omaha for the first time ever. Once again, Oral Roberts.
Oral dicks.
Past couple years, they started doing it in basketball. Now they're like, fuck it, let's do it in baseball. Is Oral Roberts going to start being one of those teams now that when you see them, they're like, oh, hey, now. It's OR.
No. Oral Roberts is not going into the season as a potential championship winner.
I need to live in an era where they are favorites, where they're like the Wichita State of baseball. They're the Arkansas.
They're gonna do to them what they wish they could have done to Cincinnati.
Exactly.
Okay, you won all these games, but let's be honest, y'all were just cracked. We're not acting like this is another year coming. Like
no BS. And 21 straight games is a hard fucking thing to do in the game of baseball. So
and like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, big ups to them. Somebody I do want to shout out is Trey Richardson for TCU. Now, TCU did advance to the Super Regionals, but the only reason I want to point him out is because he did something that nobody else has done so far, and that's put on an absolute clinic. Now, the man hit 1 grand slam in the first inning, okay? Then he hit his 2nd grand slam in the 2nd inning. So by the end of the 2nd inning, he has 2 at-bats, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Then,
what's the scoreboard?
The scoreboard when he came up to bat in the 8th or in the 6th inning was 14-3, which he then hit another 2-run homer to make it 3 home runs, 10 RBIs on the day. They finished with 17 total RBIs. 10 of those RBIs were from him. And what makes it great is the total score was 17. I think it was 17-6, or it was like 17-7. But it was like, if you took those 10 runs away, it would have been like a tie game. So like this motherfucker literally just put up all that they needed, 10 RBIs. And then I think the next day he went yard again, but it was just like a solo shot. But Trey Richardson for TCU, I mean, hey now, they could be favorites.
Don't run around the bases. Just stop where you're supposed to. I'll get you there. I'll get you a home plate.
He knows what he's doing, bro, and he is getting everybody home. But now it is officially time for the predictions. Now, last year, Tyler got it right. I still don't know how the fuck he did it, but he did it. So I'm going to give him his props.
You know how? You want to know how? You want to know how? You look at the bracket and you say, fuck it, Nebraska. That's how it happened.
You quite literally last year said, fuck it, Arkansas. And you were right.
You just say fuck it and you say a team.
So there are some heavy favorites, but I'm just going to give you.
Don't matter.
I'm just going to give you the teams.
Yeah, that's all I need.
All right. The number 1 overall team in the tournament is Wake Forest. And then we have Alabama, Stanford, Texas, Kentucky, LSU, Texas, and Iowa. That is off one side. Okay. So I'm going to let you give your pick in for that side.
I got it.
All right.
I'm not going to give it yet. I'm not picking a side. I'm picking the winner of the whole fucking thing.
Okay. Then the other side is Florida, who's the number 1 overall seed on that side. Then South Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Oregon, Oral Roberts, Massachusetts State, and TCU.
Okay, I got it.
All right. Tyler, let's hear your championship.
Who's playing?
Who's your championship and who's your winner?
LSU will be playing Virginia in the championship, and Virginia is going to shock the nation.
Okay.
Straight up. Don't ask me any fucking questions about it. I couldn't answer.
Jesse?
I have no idea.
All right, I'm not going to lie to you. I was listening, but the second half of teams went right out my other ear.
All right, second half of teams are Florida, South Carolina, Duke, Virginia, Oregon, Oral Roberts, Massachusetts State, and TCU.
Give me
State.
He knows me too well.
Give me the
Massachusetts semen juicy. Give me LSU versus Massachusetts for the royal upset. Massachusetts.
I love it. Oh man. All right, Luke, do you want to weigh in? Do you have a pick?
I do. Didn't hear the team, so I looked up the bracket, so I hope I have the right bracket. So we're going with it.
What's your championship and who's your winner?
Stanford.
Okay.
And oh, that's a sketchy one. I really want to say Oregon.
We have such different picks.
Fuck it. Stanford and Oregon. Stanford's taking the dub because if you can beat Texas A&M, you can win it all. I said it.
Oh my god. There's always a fucking tie-in with this guy. I was like listening to all the names that Dylan was reading, and I'm like, oh, thank God there's no Arizona or fucking Texas A&M. And this guy goes out of his way to find out why Texas A&M isn't there Oh,
Because
you guys
Stanford beat
fucking
him
beat
in the
him?
regional finals.
Well, then I guess Stanford has to win it all.
Stanford beat
Oh
Texas
my
A&M in the
God.
regional finals. That's hilarious. So, okay, I have Wake Forest, the number 1 seed, going to the championship and getting upset by the first-time winners, Oral Roberts, OR, and they're going to start their dynasty.
There ain't no way.
OR is starting their dynasty, and they're going to beat the number 1 team in the nation, Wake Forest. It's going to
Not
happen.
happening.
It's happening. Yes,
Not
it
when
is.
they have to play Virginia. Good luck.
Nah, well, we will see exactly what happens.
We'll see what Massachusetts State has to say about that shit, Dylan.
Yeah, all I know is that Oregon's going to have cool uniforms, but they ain't going very far.
All I know is good night, Jim Kite, to Oral Roberts, because Oregon is going to smoke him.
Massachusetts.
All right.
If
So
they
that
can't do it,
is where
no one can.
that is where we are at for the college baseball playoffs. They officially are underway this week. The road to Omaha is set. And also, if you care about the College World Series, they're already in that shit. It's a rematch of last year. It's Florida State versus Oklahoma. So pick your team. Me and Tyler, we picked Oklahoma to win all last year because they were the number 1 seed, and they did. So because we want to look like we know what's going on, we picked them again to win it all this year. Isn't that right, Ty?
Yeah, it did happen.
So when they win it again, don't say we don't know something.
You don't know anything.
That might be true about one of us.
Talk about me, but I won't defend it.
That's okay.
How do you feel, Jesse?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
First ever 25 inning game. Yeah.
Damn. Well, I'm not gonna lie. If I went to a softball game, I'd fall asleep. But then if I went to a softball game and it was 25 innings, I would think I just tell you to leave me there. Hey, Dylan, the game's over. It's time to go. No, I'm too comfy right now. Fucking leave me here.
But what if it's just runs? What if it's all runs? It's just like, dang, they got the
25 inning game where it's like, oh, they hit 2 runs, and then they got 2 runs, and then they got a run, and then they got a run, and then they got 3 runs, and they got okay. Now that's the best game of all time.
I'm talking.
That's putting up a fight.
That's just the greatest game ever.
For 28 at the end of 25.
Florida State.
Like,
Oh my
man, they
God.
really left it all out there tonight.
And don't get me wrong, it was 13-13 when they went into the top of the
They went into extra innings.
I'd much rather have that than it be like 0-0 in the bottom of the 25th. The announcers are like, somebody score a fucking run.
We have now added a runner on second and a runner on third.
We're loading the bases with nobody out.
We are now loading the bases, and it's a 3-0 count.
Come on.
Somebody has to end the game.
Seriously. Oh, that'd be great.
Florida
But,
State to win the softball championship.
of course you do, Luke. You just love to be different, don't you?
Yeah.
He
Who the fuck is that guy?
Okay.
has Texas A&M attire. Of course he's different.
This is true.
I'm big time different.
How do we care? How's our care level on UFC? I feel like we haven't talked about it in a long time. Do we
I'm
care
pretty
this
sure
weekend?
we have a pay-per-view this
It's
weekend.
a pretty.
Right? Do we
The
care finally? It's
pay-per-views.
been a while.
The UFC's this is going to be a good pay-per-view.
All right.
Sports bettors, you need to download Sharps, the better social network. With Sharps mobile app, you can tail your friends' bets with one click. See a bet you like? Just click the whale tail icon and boom, it will open in your corresponding sportsbook. Sharps securely connects to major sportsbooks like FanDuel, MGM, Caesars, and more. So you can not only track your bets, but share your bets in creative ways. So gather the degens, download Sharps for free, and join our fast-growing sports betting community.
Can I just
Well,
say one thing, Luke? That's all I want to say. I love how much everyone is shitting on this card because you know what that means? It's gonna be a fucking banger card.
yeah. It has the potential to be a big, nice, good old, juicy old, good time Tilly. But anywho, this Saturday on June 10th, 2023 at 10 p.m., we have UFC 289's main card. And we got the first fight. It's a middleweight. It's going to be Marc-Andre Burialt against Eric Anders. You know, I wish I could say much about these guys. But I can't.
I only know one of them, and that's the guy from Canada. So I'm going to take the Canadian.
Canada?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Canadian because I don't know who the fuck Eric is.
Fuck it. I'm going to take Eric because fuck Canada.
Fuck what they're doing to our sky right now. I understand.
They canceled our baseball games.
Tigers are supposed to lose tonight. I mean, win tonight.
But then we got Dan Ige against Nate Landwehr. This should be a good fight. I like saying Dan Ige.
I know Dan. Dan's a good striker.
He is a good striker, and I'm picking him to strike his way to victory.
Yeah, I'll ride him as well.
Then we got Mike Malott and Adam Fugit. I don't know how to pronounce this fully. Fugit. Fugit. We're going to go Fugit just for safety precautions.
I think it is actually the first one.
Bro, I'm over here laughing my ass off. I'm like, Luke is playing with fire with this guy's name.
That's
right?
actually probably how you pronounce it, but fuck, man, that's just unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. So now I got to have him lose. So I'm taking Mike Malott to win this one.
I need Mike Malott to win because I don't know if we can announce that Adam won next podcast.
I don't want to say that name again as a winner. I don't want to be in. I'm putting the shovel down. I'm not digging the hole any deeper.
That was very, very funny. That caught me off guard. All right,
but next up for the Cole main event, and I can't wait to watch this one because we've got Charles Oliveira taking up Beneil Dariush, and I've been big on Beneil Dariush. This is it's really tough to tell what Charles wants to do. He wants to strike, and he wants to try and grapple.
Who is Dariush?
Charles Oliveira. That's all. That's very nice, but Beneil Dariush is not someone to fuck around and find out with.
Oh, he's not.
He is a great grappler, great wrestler. He can also strike. And Charles Oliveira likes to give his opponents way too many opportunities to tag them, bag them, and rag them.
This is true.
I'm sorry, Dylan, but I could see this going almost as close as the Makhachev fight.
I am ready.
There is a big chance that Dariush might just ragdoll him, but Oliveira might get his licks in. Yeah, the other ones were against strikers, and those were bangers. His last fight was against a good old pure wrestler, and this one's against another wrestler.
Pure wrestler, I understand.
Yes.
But here's my thing.
And he only wins. Let's be honest here. He went on this.
Listen. If Charles wants any opportunity or any shot of even having a shot of beating Islam in the rematch, because winner of this is going to be #1 contender, he's going to have to beat Beneil. He's going to have to fucking learn to beat a good wrestler. His whole training camp in his Embedded series was talking about, oh, well, this is going to be a different Charles. I don't think this is going to be a different Charles, but I think that he's definitely, and he should have different wrestling that he's working on and should be looking at this a different way and realizing that he can't put himself in so much danger and so many different scenarios. I think he has to go into this fighting a different way, especially against a wrestler, because the biggest thing is that if he can't beat Beneil in this, and like you say, if Beneil does go ragdoll him, then yeah, it's going to make every sense in my mind of why Islam beat him. And I know that he's probably never going to beat Islam because I know that he just can't beat a pure wrestler. He has to beat Beneil, and he has to beat him not only by decision, but he's got to fucking tap him out or something. Like, I'm trying to think of the word. Definitively. He needs to do it like without a question about it.
Definitively. That's the word.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. He needs to do
Yes.
it definitively with no questions asked so that he's going into that Islam fight with, okay, he just beat the second best pure wrestler. Now we got to beat the best.
And after Beneil moves on, I feel like he has a good chance against Makhachev in the championship fight because Makhachev did get exposed in the Volk fight for not being as superhuman as a lot of people thought. I mean, he's still really good. That would be a stalemate type of match, but I still think Beneil would get that job done.
I'm so mad this is in 5
that
rounds.
good about Beneil?
This would be such a good fight, 5 rounds. This is going to be
What?
the best fight of the card.
I said, you feel that good about Beneil?
Yeah, dude, I've been talking good again on
Luke, I
Beneil
will
since.
say, I don't feel as bad about Luke riding against Charles because similar to Islam, he's been on this hype train for over a year. So I understand.
I've been on Beneil for a very long time. And then he has not been that active, so I haven't been able to publicly voice it out a lot.
Well, yeah, because the last time, yeah, this is true. Because then he got hurt.
But then we got, for the main event, Amanda Nunes against Irene Aldana. She's a good fighter. Irene is a good fighter. She can do some things, but then it's Amanda Nunes.
I didn't know who
that
this girl
fluke
was,
win.
bro.
There was that fluke win against Pena where she got caught off guard, and you're champ long enough, you get caught off guard eventually. Then she figured out her shit and absolutely just dominated Pena and chose not to finish her in the fight early because she wanted to prove to everyone that she's still the big badass that she is, and absolutely ragdolled her the entire fight. And this fight, I don't feel like she's going to even fuck around for a second, and she's going to bury this bitch.
Hope she does. I hope it's not even close. I really do. I don't want to play this game with Amanda where I just come out here and say she's going to annihilate her, and then I look stupid like she had with that little fluke that happened a year ago. But I understand it was an off night and she got it right back. But I just want her to annihilate her. I just want her to go in there, first round, fucking sit on her. Second round, punch her face in. Third round, she can't continue.
Yeah. I mean, Irene Aldana is not really
She's a Mexican
pushover.
striker. So that also scares me because Mexican strikers in the UFC have a high tendency of doing crazy shit out of nowhere and pulling it off.
Especially in the recent years, but Amanda Nunes, she is going to put that to bed.
Let's hope.
Bed.
That's what
Bed.
I agree with both you gentlemen.
Thanks. I've never been called a gentleman before. I feel like I'm really proper right now.
Also, watch Tough 31 because the first 2 episodes were kind of cool.
Yes, bro. Luke, I was losing.
I'm not giving any.
Texting you. My God, that fucking episode.
Yeah.
Favorite thing happened in the world.
I'm not giving any spoilers.
If you know, you
so
know.
you're going to have to watch it to find out.
If you know, you know.
Fuck around and find out.
Thank you guys for watching Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. Next time that we will be talking to you, we will be back with the Stanley Cup Finals, back with the NBA Finals, covering how the UFC pay-per-view went. And we will be talking about another week in baseball. Hopefully be here. If you want to check out the YouTube, that's at
Just wait till we get Brick Wall Bob back.
Check out the Twitch. That's at Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. If you want to check out Instagram or Twitter, that's at Ride the Tide 586.
We're just going to bring Gudas back for a game to run the fuck out of Aiden Hill.
And if you want to see us next week, we will catch you next Wednesday at 6:30. Have a great rest of your night. Use the Sharp Betting app. Go to Six Pack Coverage. And most importantly, love your mother!